Please welcome Alexis.
Thank you, and I'm happy to be here.
Good, wonderful.
Atlanta Live.
Now, you're born and raised right here in Atlanta, right?
Grady, baby.
Okay. All right. So, tell me what led you into. First, let me back up to what led you into finding God, finding Jesus.
Well, I was raised in a Christian home.
Okay.
And everybody wasn't Christian. It really started with my grandma.
Okay.
And, she led my mom in. My mom led my dad in, And you know how you get spoiled growing up in a Christian home and you don't really know because you've been taught. And one day I had to find out for myself. I guess that started around 18.
Okay.
So I said, I'm going to find out for myself.
Oh, well, all right, good. Yeah. So the last guest was talking about generational curses. You had generational blessings with that. You know,
I had curses also.
yeah, we all do. But you know, it's neat. I find particular, you know, families, I guess all over, but definitely here in the South, where you find these families they've been Christians and strong, genuine Christians through generations. You know, and that's such a wonderful blessing that we have to remember that we have on that. So what led you into, you know, singing?
I've been singing probably since I come out of my mother's womb, seriously. But my grandma used to play the piano, and whether you could sing or not, she's gone now, bless her heart, but she said, you better sing! And she just bang on that piano, so and she'd make us bang on the piano, whether you could play or not. So it just kind of, you know, fed from her, and it just kept going and never quit.
Well, what led you to do this album? I mean, took you a while to get your first CD right now, No Boundaries. So what took you to finally get around and say, you know what, this isn't a hobby, I'm gonna put together a CD?
It's always been in my heart. It's always been in my heart to do music, and I've always wanted to do, you know, my own, you know, genre, my own music. Okay. So I set out, and some things just really started going bad for me, and then I finally met this couple, you know, and saying, you know, I was talking to them and found out that he was a producer, and I said, look, I would like for you to do my CD, my first CD. He said, let's do it.
Oh, wow.
So we went, and I guess you can call it the upper room because he had a studio upstairs. And it's, you know, so we went to the upper room, and we started writing. Well, I started writing, and he started doing music, and we come up with our first CD, No Boundaries.
Okay, great. You mentioned just on a side, you said, you know, kind of making your own genre kind of deal. What do you think is your style of music then?
Well, like I said, you know, it's kind of, I really, really want music. I know a lot of people say, you know, a lot of artists, they say, well, you know, we've got different music and so on and so forth. But I want music that will captivate both audience. I want it to be sort of like Jesus. You know, you eating with the sinners and the publicans, and yet he was going in the synagogues. So I want to make sure that I was appealing to those that are in the darkness, and I want to pull them to the light, and then those that are in the light, I want them to have the same joy, even more joy. So, you know, to exalt God for both. And the reason I said my own genre, because people that necessarily won't listen to gospel music, I want to not know, you know, and it catches them and say, oh, wait a minute, I'm listening to gospel.
Yeah. Well, tell me, who artists kind of inspired you then to find your niche? Yeah.
I think one of my favorite growing up was Prince.
Hey, all right.
Michael Jackson. I love James Cleveland. Aretha Franklin, you know, Kurt Franklin. I love Kurt Franklin. But growing up, I would have said Marvin Gaye. My dad used to have me listen to a lot of Marvin Gaye and Brooke Benton, and he would have me trying to sing low, you know, get down. And, you know, even as a boy, I was having to sing bass and baritone whether I could do it or not. So, and my mother, you know, she's an alto, so then she'd have me sing a little alto and soprano. So I never had voice lessons, but you know, just singing.
Oh, wow, that was going to be my next, you know, one of my next questions then, you know, where
I jumped the gun.
Yeah, you did. You know, where did the training come from? Because what you're doing, I feel, is very a disciplined type of genre you got, you know. Obviously, you just got it from your parents, not only your Christian heritage, but your singing as well, right?
I guess if you do it enough.
Yeah, out of this new album that you got, No Boundaries, how many selections are on there?
There's 12.
12 tracks, okay. What do you really hope for people to get out of this? You know, when they put that CD in their player in their car, what do you hope that that get out of it?
Honestly, when I was writing the songs, what I felt, sometimes in the studio, seriously, I would laugh. Sometimes I would cry, and I would feel the pain. I would talk to other people, you know, even writing these songs.
Yeah.
I would feel pain of other people if I didn't have the pain, and I would write it down. And, you know, that's how I guess, you know, I'll talk to you, and I'll go home and I'll write a song based on what you're telling me. But the pain that I felt and the love that I felt and the drawing that I felt, I want them to feel the same thing in my writing and in my lyrics that I felt when I was putting it down. Then that makes me happy.
Okay, so on that note, then, what was probably the hardest song for you to write?
The song I just done, Selfish. And I have another called Walking Song. And it's along the lines that the gentleman, the pastor that was just up here, it's along the lines that he was just speaking on, the Walking Song. So that was probably two of my hardest songs.
Okay. Well, tell us a little about the one that you just did. I think Selfish kind of gives the title itself, but, you know, give us a little glimpse of exactly what the writing process for that particular song was for you.
Well, in this industry, you know, you find it's a lot of con artists out here, a lot of crooks, and you start this journey and you get a lot of promises made to you. And, you know, and even in life, there's a lot of promises made to you. And then when you start, you find out, hey, this is really not what they said it was. And then they will put you to the side and go for something that they feel like is more positive, no matter how much work you've done, no matter how much you put into it. And the only thing you can do at that point is to get on your knees or stand up or get over in the fetal position and just call out to God and say, God, okay, there's another trial that I'm going through. And I need your help right now because they've made me promises and I put my hope in the wrong thing instead of putting my trust in you. So you forgive me and help me to get myself back on this path that I need to be on. Yeah,
absolutely. I mean, that's definitely true.
So that caused me to write this song, Selfish, because I met a lot of selfish people.
Well, and you know, that experience, you know, transcends it. It doesn't matter if it's the secular world or Christian world. I think a lot of us, and I am one who've experienced that, who, you know, even being in the Christian realm and the Christian entertainment, I still run into, you know, the people who are willing to drop you by the wayside or stab you in the back, whatever it takes to get the next buck. You know.
Now, I do believe in that scripture say, you know, you got to look at the mote in your own eye too. I've been selfish too now.
That's true. Yeah. You're right. We do have to look at that. Well, tell us real quick. How can we get a hold of you? Are you interested in like going, singing at churches? What do you want to get? And talking about being selfish, what do you want to get out of the CD?
I want to take it to the world.
Okay.
And when I say take it to the world, you know, let your light so shine before men that they may see your good works and glorify your Father which is in heaven. Amen. I want to take Jesus to the whole world.
Amen.
About whatever means necessary.
Yeah.
So to get my music, like I said, I'm on iTunes and I'm on Amazon. So all they got to do is go in and hit Alexis, no boundaries.
Okay.
I've got a web page, which is alwaysalexis.com.
All right.
I've got Facebook, which is always Alexis. It's 2 words and it's case sensitive. So the 2 A's has to be uppercase.
Got it.
And you can follow me on Twitter. It's Alexis Always, but the always has a Z at the end instead of an S.
Don't confuse it on us here.
Well, you know, some people.
You're good with the theme, always Alexis. And
well, when something's taken, you got to change a letter or a number.
I always come up to people, you know, when their email account or something is Alexis 940. I'm like, was there really 939 Alexises before you? Well, good. So people can go to your website, you know, find out more about you. And I guess I'm assuming you're also available for bookings. Come to the church and stuff like that. And you're right here. You're local. Here in Atlanta. So, in fact, you're living right now over Stone Mountain. So you're even local right here to this area.
Say that again, local.
Local. Well, I say you're the only guest I've had tonight who's actually local. So it's so good. Well, all right. Now you're about to sing another song for us coming up. What is it? Change Me.
Change Me.
Now that sounds like a heavy song there too, as well, right? Mm-hmm. Yeah. Give us a little bit of an introduction of that, and then
like I said, I wasn't. You know, I grew up and I was kind of spoiled, and I had to get myself.
Yeah.
You know, they say you got to find yourself, which is one of the craziest things I ever heard, because, you know, we belong to God. You find God and He molds you.
Yeah,
so I was out finding myself, and you find yourself in a lot of stuff, you know. I don't want to mention it's my testimony, but I won't tell my testimony, but you find yourself in the miry clay.
Yeah.
And no matter how you try to do good, you know, Paul said, that which I would, that I do not, and that which I would not, that I do. And if I do that which I would not, then it is not I, but sin that dwelleth in me. No matter how good you try to be, you keep falling and keep falling till finally you find out nobody has any trust in you. So you only thing you can do is call on Jesus and say, Lord, will you help me?
Wow.
So that's what I was doing. I found myself in a position where there was no trust left.
Amen. Well, you know, I think every single one of us, you know, can attest to that. You know, have been in that moment of just, I've got nothing left, Lord. You know, you just need to change me and mold me. Well, Alexis, thank you for coming on and sharing with us. Right